I'm a pro, cause I'm Adam Timmo.
Godzilla. Rogue One is out literally next week, so I'm celebrating by reviewing Gareth Edwards' other movie, which is the 2014 version of Godzilla. Okay, this movie's been out for 2 years, so it's fair to assume there's going to be spoilers in this video. So if you haven't seen it, please watch it, then come back to this video. Okay, so the 2014 Godzilla movie left audiences a bit mixed as to how it was overall. So, how do I feel about it? I actually kind of love this movie. Like, for one, it does the same thing as Monsters. It uses subtlety. It doesn't just throw Godzilla in your face every 5 minutes or whatever. No, it takes its time with him. It builds him up first. It builds up his storyline, where he was, who he is, that sort of stuff. Then when he appears, he really appears. You feel it when he's there. The CGI for him is incredible. The direction for him, the first shot you see him is a wide shot. You can properly feel his size. It's been built up before, so you understand him. You see how big he is, not just from the shot, but from everything beforehand as well. It also uses lots of visual storytelling. Instead of saying that the Muto is pregnant, you see it. They never say anything about it, but you can tell just by looking at it. As well as that, they do it with the characters in terms of development. Some people complain that the characters, they don't have enough development. But if you actually take a close look, they kind of do. For instance, the scientist having a watch from Hiroshima that belonged to his dad. This shows that he doesn't care for humanity anymore because of the stuff they did. Hiroshima also happens to be what awoke Godzilla. So, in one way, it caused him to lose something in his life, and so he's angry about that, but at the same time it brought up Godzilla, so he believes that Godzilla has been sent here to help humanity. As well as directing the big, monsters fighting each other, which is pretty awesome, Gareth Edwards knows how to direct scenes, actual scenes, like, let's say in a military place, or just two guys talking to each other. He knows how to direct it properly. You can tell by looking at it. Also, what I really like about this movie is everybody involved is actually taking this seriously. I mean, you watch something like Pacific Rim and everybody only seems to care about the big action stuff, whereas everything else is kind of like a live-action cartoon, basically. But in this movie, they actually care about their acting, they care about the characters, they care about the direction, they care about telling a story. It's not just set piece after set piece. There's a pace to it all. There's a reason for this stuff. They actually care about what they're saying. The movie also has some great themes in it, like, we can't do anything to affect nature. Nature just happens by itself, like that amazing line, "Let them fight." I have to talk about Alexander Desplat's score for this movie. It hits all the notes. For instance, it has a great score in there to do with the Monolith theme from 2001: A Space Odyssey. You could call that stealing, but I think that's an homage, and they do it really well in a scene that really needed something like that. But the new themes he does is also amazing. For instance, the one he does for Godzilla is just epic. I want to hear that stuff all the time. I think it's going to go down with, like, the Imperial March and that sort of stuff, because it's an amazing theme. And he also does the stuff between the characters and stuff as well. Like, at the very end, there's one great bit that he does. I just love that. Yet the score for this movie is maybe the best part about it. And that's saying good bit, because I do really like this movie. However, as with every movie, or at least most, there are problems. Two in particular. One, Aaron Taylor Johnson, the main guy in this movie, he's not that good. Like, he's a fine actor in other movies, but here he's just kind of bland and a lot of the time just there. Doesn't really do much. Also, Bryan Cranston's character is probably the most interesting in the movie. He's also giving the best performance, and yet they kill him off in the first act, which I feel like, yeah, it makes sense because they do finish his arc to do with his wife and all, but they don't finish his arc to do with his son, which I would have loved to see, and they could also do more to do with his wife, and more stuff to do with Godzilla with him as well. That would have been really cool to see. He was great in the movie, and I wish he was in it a lot more. Still though, overall, I do really like this movie. I think it is pretty underrated, just like Monsters. It's not as good as Monsters, but it's still a really great movie for what it is, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. So, if you guys have any thoughts about this movie, please leave them down below in the comments. I'm going to have my review for Rogue One out next week, probably on Friday. I already have my tickets booked. I can't wait to see it. I hope it's good. Will it be as good as this? Tough to say. Hope it is, though, because this could have been a little better. That may or may not be a teaser for a re-review of this. Maybe.